Howdy Google Ads fans, and welcome back. In this lecture, I want to talk about some astounding statistics about Google Ads, sort of what it is conceptually, and at the very least, make a compelling case if your boss or you're not ready or a client's not ready to really invest in Google Ads. Some of these statistics will really help them get on the Google Ads gravy train of profits. So first, 75% of search market share. Google dominates search. Yes, there's Bing advertising and Yahoo advertising, and the Bing advertising network, I would never create a separate course for Bing because it's really a duplicate of Google Ads. So what's successful in Google Ads, you could import into Bing. But 75% of the search market share goes to Google. So that's an enormous amount of activity. Just to give a bit of a conceptualization of what that activity is, there's over 3.5 billion daily searches on Google. People come to Google first and foremost. Now, Amazon is picking up some market shares as the place where people come to begin searching for something to buy. But the king by far is still and will probably always be Google. People come to Google to search for what they're looking to buy, to find answers to their questions, to get relevant information about purchasing decisions. 1.2 trillion yearly searches. 71% of all of Google's revenue comes from ads. And this is very, very interesting. Now, a couple years ago when I first created this course, that number was 97%. Now, Google's revenue has increased dramatically, but that's because Google has gone into other types of businesses where they're actually generating revenue from other areas. But still, 71% is a whopping number. And let's just put that number in a little bit of context. In 2017, Google's revenues were 109 billion, that's a billion with a B as in baseball, 109 billion, 650 million, okay? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of revenue, 71% of that. So now, what is 71% of 109 billion, 650 million? Any math whizzes out there? Let's see, it's 71% is gonna be, and you guys could fact check me on this one, but I think it's 77 billion, 851 million, 500,000. Okay, I believe that's correct. I don't know, you could prove me wrong if I'm wrong, but $77,851,500,000 generated from Google Ads. That amount of money spent on ads generated over $80 billion in economic activity per year from Google Ads. And this entire course is teaching you how to take your piece of that. You could seriously generate significant, lasting economic activity, profits to your business from running Google Ads campaigns. In fact, we have clients that are spending, and I'm not exaggerating, we have clients that are spending over $1 million a month on advertising online through Google, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's their entire business. And they run big businesses. And all their traffic, all their sales come through Google. And that doesn't mean I'm suggesting that you should put all your eggs in one basket. I don't mean to suggest that all your traffic to your site, all your profits should come from Google Ads. They shouldn't. It should be diversified. But that's the power of such a platform. Google Ads, when done right, when done profitably, could generate enormous amounts of money, and it's generating enormous amounts of money for Google. This is an interesting statistic that's very worthwhile to understand. 40 to 50% of all searches end in an ad click. I'm sure that you've heard this. I get this all the time from clients. Well, Isaac, Google Ads is dead. No one clicks on those ads. I don't click on those ads. I scroll down past the first 3 ads and I find an organic result. Sure, plenty of people do that. Plenty of people search through and specifically won't click on an ad. That's the case. But the reality is, right? The reality of the matter is 40 to 50% of all Google searches end in an ad click, result in a click on a sponsored result, right? So approximately 50% of 3.5 billion daily searches are ending in an ad click, okay? Just think about what that means, right? Huge amount of ad clicks are happening every single day. So if you're gonna come with the attitude, or you hear the attitude that says, oh, no one clicks on the ads, I don't click on the ads, my mom doesn't click on the ads, well, you could tell them that's nice, but around 2 billion people, or 2 billion searches a day are ending in an ad click, okay? So that's huge. On top of that, 45.5% of people who were polled don't know the difference between a sponsored ad and an organic result. And that's really interesting because that's probably why this number is so high. Google does a good job at disguising ads. through a couple different factors. One is quality score. Quality score ensures that the ads are extremely relevant to what the person searched for, and we're going to talk about quality score. But also, Google doesn't make it look like ads. You have that little green. It used to be more. They used to have. I don't know if any of you guys remember this. On Google, there used to be a yellow background whenever there was an ad result, and then they had a dark green or a dark yellow ad icon, and now it's just a little outline that says ad. Right? It's really hidden. Like unless you're looking for it, it's hard to naturally tell that these three results are ads and these are organic results, and Google does that on purpose because they want to mask that fact that there's an advertising ecosystem running in the background and in the foreground above the organic results. So 40 to 50% of all searches end in an ad click. 45% of people don't even know the difference between organic and sponsored results. And that's something which you could take incredible advantage of, and you should take advantage of, and you should exploit that. You should make your ads look as natural and as native as possible, and we're going to talk about what that means. We're going to talk about display advertising, and in the next lecture I'm going to show you where ads actually show up. Google Display Network reaches over 80% of the entire internet. Okay, that's a lot of potential display advertising. And now display advertising is, if you want to show an image ad or a video ad or a flash ad on the NewYorkTimes.com or the Wall Street Journal or whatever, or ESPN, whatever website it might be, you're able to do that through Google Display Advertising, which reaches over 80% of the entire internet. So running display ads through Google Ads, through the Google Ads interface, gives you enormous, enormous reach. The core bulk of this course, almost all of the course, is going to focus on search advertising, which is advertising on Google search, on google.com, and I'll show you in the next lecture exactly what I'm talking about, because people who are new to Google Ads, sometimes it's hard to conceptualize exactly what we're dealing with here. Google Ads is the software, it's the advertising system that allows you as a business owner, or allows a business owner to show ads to people who are specifically looking for what you sell. It's the most luxurious advertising system in the world, where you have Facebook advertising, you have billboard advertising, you have radio, TV, all those things, they have to predict whether or not the audience segment that I'm choosing to target is interested in what I have to sell. So I'll choose people who are older, I'll choose females or males, I'll choose people who are more affluent, I'll choose people in certain locations. I'll do all these different things because it's the best proxy for knowing somebody's actual intent, what they actually want to buy. Like I might advertise on Facebook a business-related product to frequent business travelers, right? But I don't really, it's just the best thing I could do. I use all that, contextual elements of targeting through social, and that's not to say, again, I'm not putting down social media advertising. Social media advertising is extremely, extremely effective when done right. But the reason why Google Ads on search specifically is so luxurious, why it's so different than any other display sort of advertising where it's more interruptive, this is not only is it permissive marketing, a user is searching for the answer to a specific question. I'm looking to buy men's running shoes. I'm looking for a local locksmith. Not only is it permissive, but you're able to show an ad when a person is specifically searching for what you offer. It's extremely powerful. It exists nowhere else in the world. There's no other advertising platform that affords you that level of luxury, that level of specificity, that level of understanding commercial intent, where you could really tie and predict to quite an accurate degree how likely a person is to be one of your customers. And it's incredible. Now, that also doesn't mean that this is going to work for you overnight. That doesn't mean that you could just throw $100 a day or $10,000 a day and you're going to see profitability, because you have all your other competitors that are also capitalizing on this. They have good websites. They have good products. They know how to bid. They know how to have a customer support team. They know how to market higher top of the funnel clicks. They know how to create content and give away information in a way that's relevant and useful to the user. So it's not going to work by itself. It's not magic, but it is the most luxurious, and that's why it's the most expensive. It's very competitive, especially competitive markets. Clicks are expensive. You get charged every single time somebody clicks an ad, which is the other element of PPC advertising, pay-per-click advertising. So not only, and I know I'm speaking fast, I'll slow down. Not only is Google Ads the most luxurious advertising network and advertising system in the world, because you could capitalize on this thing called commercial intent. You could choose to show ads to people that are specifically looking for the products and services that you sell at the time that they're searching for the products and services you sell. Just let that sink in. That's incredible. That enough of is a reason to take this extremely seriously. More importantly, you don't pay a penny to show an ad. Okay? PPC advertising, pay-per-click advertising, means you only pay Google, you only pay the advertising network when your ad is actually clicked. Now that's different than most display advertising. Most display advertising, and it's also different than most Facebook campaigns, etc., where you're paying per 1,000 impressions. On Facebook, you can pay per click. It's different. There's different bidding options available. On most display campaigns, you're paying per 1,000 impressions. You're paying to show the ad. With Google search, you could have an ad shown 1 million times. If you have an ad in position 3 or position 2 and it doesn't get clicked, 100,000 times that ad was shown on the page, you don't owe a penny to Google. You only get charged. You only owe money when a person actually clicks your ad and comes to your landing page. So imagine you have a brick and mortar store on a street. Not only, imagine offering a certain amount of money for a person to walk into your store and browse, right? There's for sure a certain amount of money that's worth it to you because you're taking out ads, you're doing all these different things. So whether that's 5 cents, 10 cents, $2, there's some amount of money where it's worth paying people to come into your store, but it gets so much better. Imagine you're able to just offer that 25 cents or $1 to people who you know woke up this morning and said, I want to buy the product you sell. You're a hardware store, and a person woke up this morning and said, I want to buy a hammer. I want to buy an electric drill, right? And you somehow knew that, and you could offer just those people to come into your store and browse your shelves and look at the products you offer. And you could even put them right in the specific aisle of the hammer or the electric drill that they want to buy. It's wild when you think about how accurate and how powerful and how useful, how relevant these ads could be, how you could seriously choose to spend that money in the most effective way possible on the people that are interested in what you sell, getting them into your online store, your web store. Whether this be for services or for content or for products, if it's e-commerce, is incredibly powerful, and it doesn't exist anywhere else, and it's not replicated even in any other form in any other advertising platform. So these statistics should make a very, very strong case for the power of Google Ads. In the very next lecture, I'm going to show you a little bit about what these ads look like in the real world, where ads actually show up, a little bit of the anatomy of an ad, and after that, we're going to jump into creating, finally, our very first Google Ads account together, step by step. I look forward to seeing you guys very soon in the very next lecture.